Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are, what time it is by you, and how do you like this background? Listen, I say a lot of things, folks, about the winter. I hate the winter. I don't want snow. I don't like ice, all that kind of stuff I say, right? You know me. But I have to tell you, when I've always said that it's a beautiful postcard. As much as I hate winter, as much as I despise snow, I must say that's a nice looking postcard. And I was able to get a different room here. Let's hope that we don't get interrupted, okay? Because I'm still here at what I like to call the detention center. I'm here today. Next week, I hopefully will not be here on Sunday. So I'm here to do a live stream, catch up with Mayo. Right? And I am joined by Patrick Sweden, James Farley, Robbie, Detroit's Vinyl, Mr. Mixamexamesapidalic. How you doing there? Good morning. Brad Hill, he says, hello, Brad. He says, I love all the remote videos that you do around town. Thanks. You know what? I want to do more of those. I might want to do more of them. I don't know. Doing what? I wonder if people would watch an out and about thing. You're just going out. Hey, today I'm driving around. Today I'm visiting the park. Today I'm going to the mall. I don't know. I don't know. Great view. Yeah, I agree with that. It's a great view. Yes, 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 indeed. Yes, indeed. I like it. Matchstick Man, what's up? Mike Waljesper, what's going on? Nothing like detention every week. Yeah, yeah. I see that the new Lennon documentary will be at the IMAX on April 11th. You're right, Mystery Train. You're right. We're talking about the one-to-one show, the one-to-one concert. It's not just about the concert. I think it's around that early period of John and Yoko, and I'm very excited about it. I got to look into it. Got to look into getting tickets, etc., etc., etc. And I want to see that because that was in the works for a long time, I believe. So, hell yes, hell yes. What's going on, everybody? Good to see the people in the comments. Detention. Just like the movie The Breakfast Club. Yeah, I saw that movie, 1985, Breakfast Club. It's not a favorite of mine, but I saw it. Betty Lane, you're in my ears and in my eyes. What's going on there? Betty Lane, I'm in a good mood today. It's a beautiful day. I want to have steak tips. I'm just in a good mood all around with that kind of thing, you know? And I apologize to everybody if my camera bounces. The table that I'm on here, I tried everything. It wobbles, but if it wobbles a little bit, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. So anyway, is what it is. So how's everybody out there doing? Let's talk. Anything, Beatles or otherwise. I mean, I used to say, oh, no Beatles. No, hey, look, I'm a Beatle guy. I'm into it. Let's discuss. Let's talk about whatever, within reason, you know. And Lila's here. Never seen Rachel's Ghost Channel, but think there is only you, Joe, that never seems to create a drama to get hits or likes. Oh, I see what you're saying. I never do it. Yeah, I'm not really into that. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yes, indeed. Good morning, Chrissy. What's going on? And here we are. All right, folks. We're here. We're here. January's going good. Hey, it's been a week since I got my head cold and sore throat. It's gone. No more sore throat. Yay! Oh, you know what it is? I always say that health is your greatest wealth. A lot of people out there don't realize that health is wealth until they lose it. You don't know what you got until you lose it. Like John sang. It is true. It is true. It is true. Did I watch all the Columbo episodes? You never talk about it anymore because, again, I stopped. I'm going to get back to Columbo, but lately I've been watching the sitcom Taxi, and I've been watching Lost in Space again. So Lost in Space and Taxi have replaced Columbo right now, but I'll get back to the Columbos. That's for sure. Hey, there we go. Tom Hagnotti. Tom Hagnotti. Yeah, what's going on? I hope we can do a movie show soon. I want to see that movie, The Substance. Tom told me that it was very good with Demi Moore, and it's up for an Oscar. So that's pretty interesting. But I don't know how I'm going to go see it unless it's in the theater. I don't know. Since the film A Complete Unknown, have you listened to Dylan Moore? I already no more than I have been. Let's put it that way. No more than I have been. I hope you do more Fab Gabs with Matthew Street and Beatly Tone. That video was great. Thanks very much, Brad. I knew somebody made that comment. I think it was you. Yeah, I'm going to be doing more Fab Gabs. Well, I'm trying to. Matthew Street doesn't do that many. He doesn't do live that much anymore. But whenever I can get, he said it. If you want to do another thing, anytime, ask me. I can ask. And of course, Beatly Tone is in a lot of them. I don't know, Brad, if you looked at some other ones, the playlists. Go to my playlists section and hit Fab Gab. And there's quite a few shows with Beatly Tone on there. Didn't Geraldo Rivera have a connection with the one-to-one concert? Yeah, Geraldo Rivera, I think, arranged it. He was involved in it, the one-to-one concerts, yeah, for the children of Willowbrook. The Substance is insane. Such a great / terrible film. What's going on, Ricks? I see EMI is pushing that Yellow Submarine reissue. I got their email today. No interest from me, but they are really doing the marketing these days. At this stage of the game, as much as I hate remakes and reboots of things a lot, I wouldn't mind them doing a modern day Yellow Submarine redo. I actually wouldn't mind that, to tell you the truth, I wouldn't. Because it's not real people, it's just cartoon, animation. And I'd like to see possibly, getting the Beatles back there for kids, putting the Beatles back in their minds. Now I hear people out there, they're looking for a room. I see through the glass, and they told me, when I come here on Sunday mornings, I ask one of the nice ladies there, I say, what rooms are available today? Because sometimes other rooms have classes or they're doing something, business or something. And she tells me this room is available. Well, here I am. I see people peering through the window to see if the rooms are free. So anyway, I want to see the Johnny Cash one. There's also one I heard with Dick Van Dyke, like to do that. I like to see that one Columbo episode. Beetle Eddie, good morning, Beetle Eddie. What's going on? Are there any magazines, music, or movie that you buy regularly? Not anymore. When I was growing up, I used to buy some, but there aren't any more these days that I do. I used to do it a lot when I was a kid, buy movie magazines, things like that. There used to be one called Film Facts. I used to buy Film Facts, and of course, Famous Monsters of Filmland. Mr. Blood Vessel, what's going on? Yes, a real new tech animated version of Yellow Submarine would be interesting to see. Yeah. So, how's everybody out there? Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. And some people are watching but not commenting, but I appreciate the commenters. Thank you for commenting. Is this Richard? If this is Richard, I say, hello, Richard. I always wonder, is it the real Richard? There's ways of telling. Hi, Chris. Let me I don't really read the newspapers. I really don't. But I much prefer the New York Post, though, when I sometimes see them on the stands, the newsstands. Mr. Woodhaven, what's up? I'm doing good now. I was sick for a week, but that seems to pass. And the beautiful thing is, I still have 2 more days of antibiotic. There's nothing better I like than when you've been sick and you're taking antibiotics and you're feeling better, but you still got 2 days of antibiotic left just to reinforce it a little bit, you know. So that's pretty good. Hello, James. Doing good. Good morning. Good morning, Vinyl Mine. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You got to have people watching the damn videos. Why make videos if people don't watch them? You know. Part of the appeal of the Rachel show was the drama. Sometimes it got ridiculous, and I tuned out. But otherwise, it was a typically entertaining show. Her, Rob, and Mazzy were a good team. I didn't watch every show, but I would check in now and then, and I would be entertained. There's times when it'd be boring, just like my show's boring here sometimes, and there's times when I would be really into it, and I enjoyed it for the most part. And whether you enjoyed a particular episode or not, the thing that was good about it is that it was there all the time, and you knew it was there. It was part of your morning thing. You knew it was on. In my time, it was 9 a.m. to 12. 9 to 12, you had the Rachel show. And I still believe Rachel's going to come back. Like anything else, we're human beings. We agree. Sometimes we don't agree. I didn't agree on everything all the time with her or the guests that were on, but that's not the point, The point is good conversation. Sometimes a barn burner. The barn burners were fun at times. Let's admit it. The only thing missing from the view behind is Perry Como and Andy Williams. Definitely, it's a beautiful view. I got to say, I love to look at snow like that. Light snow, not a lot of snow, but just a nice, pretty picture, postcard. You know what I mean? I love that. So I'm not that much of a Scrooge when it comes to snow and stuff like that. There was a Paul Simon documentary on TV here in the UK, and there was some excellent Saturday Night Live footage of him with George Harrison. Yes, that's great. That's one of the Saturday Night Live's best ever classic moments. Paul Simon with George, definitely. I don't buy into creating drama out of nothing to get hits. No, I agree. Natural drama is one thing. But if it occurs, it occurs. I agree with you. Yeah. Can you give us a few anecdotes or reasons why Frankenstein meets the Wolfman is your favorite? Excuse me. I still have remnants of my cough. Favorite Universal horror movie? Well, I grew up with it. I was a kid. It's nostalgic. It was the first monster team up. It was the first time in a movie where you had two famous monsters being matched in one movie. And I love the monsters, Bela Lugosi plays the monster. Lon Chaney Jr. is the Wolfman, Hello, nice setting. Thank you, John or Peter. Rachel is smart and has a talent for hosting podcasts. I concur. There are so many that don't have the personality or knowledge to host a niche show, like one in the VC. Yeah. Yes, we're in agreement about that Saturday Night Live. George Harrison, Paul Simon. I can't wait for summer. I'm so tired of winter. I already can't do much outside when it's winter. Love being outdoors. I hear you. I feel you. I agree with you. I think you're right. I think Rachel will be back. I do. And, I'm hoping so. One thing I will say about Joe, I doubt you're ever going to see a thumbnail of him with his head in his hands saying he's quitting. You never know. I hope not. But you never know. But you mean as far as like doing it for like clickbait and views, that kind of thing? No, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I agree, Joe. When Lorne Michaels talks about offering Ringo less or George saying it's chintzy, Classic Saturday Night Live. Absolutely. That's a great bit. George came back. He wanted the money. He wanted the money that Lorne Michaels promised for the Beatles reunion. And he said, wait a minute, George, I'm sorry, but the offer was for all four of you, not just one. There you go. There you go. 54 days till spring. These days we don't get a spring a lot, which kind of sucks, I hope we get a spring. I really do. Obviously, Joe's good at hosting his podcast. He has the longevity. Well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, I started live streams in 2017, I think. Boy, time really goes fast, huh? No, I didn't bring any tea, but I'm glad you reminded me, Martin, that I have the water, and I want to take a little chug of that right now. How sweet it is. All right, there we go. It'd be great to see Rachel return, but I'm skeptical on that. This kind of feels different from the first time she lost the channel. Yeah. Well, the first time she had nothing to do with it, really. Good morning, Eric. I remember the first time I saw Frankenstein meets the Wolfman when I was 8 or 9. That first scene of the grave robbers in the Wolfman's crypt stands out. That first grave robber scene in Frankenstein meets the Wolfman still packs a punch. Was 1943. It still packs a punch. Very, very creepy. I just saw the movie Saturday Night, which is about making the first show. That's the one where Andy Kaufman did the Mighty Mouse theme. I never thought the Mighty Mouse theme was funny. That's just me. You didn't like Nosferatu, and Robert Eggers is already considered doing a werewolf movie. Yeah, I heard about this. I didn't like the new Nosferatu, but I do like the idea. Give it another try. I like the idea of doing a 13th century werewolf movie. I like that idea in the style of those old expressionist kind of German films. I would love to see that. Hey, I'll give it a try. If it's good, it's good, But I didn't see the new movie, Wolfman. I didn't see that. I've heard mixed things about that. Back to Saturday Night Live. I always love the one word Father Guido Sarducci was throwing rocks. Oh, I'm sorry. The one where I always love the one where, I guess, Father Guido Sarducci was throwing rocks at Paul's window. I saw that live. I'm sorry, Richard. This is just one of those shows where I just do my own things. Catch up with Mayo. Let's see. Rachel never said she was quitting, but talked about retirement. There is a video. Shows the last 7 minutes. That video, I got to say, somebody pointed it out to me. It was very informative. 7 minutes long. Very good. Very good. Let's see. Have you seen any other Best Pictures nominees besides Complete Unknown? No. I've only seen A Complete Unknown, which I loved, What would be your reaction if you were around at the time, not knowing what you know now, when Dylan suddenly went electric? Would you have booed or gone along with it? To be honest with you, I got to be fair. Even though I think it's great that Dylan went electric now, and even though I think that it's great that the Beatles did Sgt. Pepper and got psychedelic, I know me. I don't like change very much. It's hard for me to accept change most of the time. And I think that if I were around back then, I think I might have been like, oh, no, what is this Dylan going electric? What the hell is he doing? Selling his soul? It's crap. I think I might have done that. I don't know. Some changes I like. Not all changes are bad, But I know for a fact that if I was around following the Beatles as a teenager or something in the 60s, if I'd been a teen in the 60s, I probably would not have liked the mustaches and the beards and the psychedelia. But who knows? Hey, good to see you here, JL Draw. Okay, I missed you there with that one. Uh, when the moonlight shines on Larry Talbot's body, I was yeah in the grave robber scene. He's being brought. He's back from the dead when the moonlight comes in. Yeah, that is very scary. It still works. No problem, Richard. No problem. It's all good. Um, what is your favorite Three Stooges short? That's very hard for me to say. I got tired of Three Little Beers. Three Little Beers used to be a favorite Curly short of mine because I had a sound movie projector when I was a kid, and I had the reel of Three Little Beers. That's for those who don't know. That's the one when they go golf and they play golf, and I actually liked that one quite a bit. However, these days I like Shemp better than Curly. I'm a Shemp guy. I like the Three Stooges when they're a little older, a little not so younger, older. I like them. I think they're funnier, and there's a lot more eye poking and violent routines, comedy routines in it. The Shemp ones. I like ones like there's one I like called Loose Loot with Shemp, and there's ones I like with Shemp called I forget the other. I think it's Jensen a Jam. No, no, can't remember something about a jam. Anyway, I like Shemp. Original Nosferatu so good. The early tech look to it is the real deal. Any remake, they probably try to make it look like it was from the 30s. Yeah. Sorry. Paul Simon wearing a turkey outfit, saying "Still crazy after all these years." That's a classic. Yeah. I like The Complete Unknown. I don't know. I didn't see any of the other movies. I don't think so. I don't know if it's an Oscar worthy of a Best Picture, but I don't know. But I do think that Edward Norton performance is worthy of a Best Supporting Actor. So the girls in the '60s hated the Beatles change when they started with Sgt. Pepper. Well, a lot did. Some did, some didn't. Yeah, violent is the word for curly is a great one. B-A baby B-B-I Bicky Bye B-O Bo Bicky Bye Bo B-U Boo Bicky Bye Bo Boo. Yeah, I know this song. I was surprised how good A Complete Unknown was. I knew Tim could act. Talking about Timothy Chalamet. I wondered what does he know about Dylan? It's not like he grew up listening to Dylan albums, yet he nailed it. Yeah, he did. He did very well. I wouldn't mind seeing him get the award. But then again, I don't know the other actors in other movies, but Chevy Chase was only on Saturday Night Live the first season and a little of the second season. Bill Murray came on the second season. Didn't get along with Chevy Chase, correct? I didn't know how they made Caddyshack together. Chevy Chase and Caddyshack? Don't recall. Oh, shoot. I didn't know this. I wish I would have known. I would have tuned in. By the way, I think that Ringo was supposed to be on one of those shows. Is it Jimmy Kimmel or is it I think it's Jimmy Kimmel. One of those shows. John Bazzini, what's up, John? Did Bob Dylan give us approval for The Complete Unknown to be made? I don't know if it was necessary, but I know he was a consultant, right? He gave some opinions on it. He wanted to change the name of Susie Rodolo. I used to say Susie Rotolo. Then I heard it pronounced Rodolo. So I don't know. But his girlfriend, they had to use a different name, and I think he suggested it. And I think I heard that Dylan actually put at least one scene in there that wasn't true, it wasn't real. He actually wanted to put. That's what I heard. How true that is. That's true. I guess these days, of course, you can still see the clips. Obviously, yeah. You can just go back and watch the clips of Saturday Night Live or anything. So, feeling good today. Looking forward to doing the rest of this chat with you folks. I'll be here for just an hour, 15 minutes, because I got nowhere to go. Huh? So. Rodney, I tell you, that easy being me. I looked up in a family tree. I found out I'm the sap. I had a Super 8 of the Three Stooges, the one that they were putting a gorilla's brain in Curly's head. The name of that short is A Bird in the Head. And that's one of Curly's infamous stroke shorts when he had a stroke. He wasn't doing that well there. Somehow I came close to seeing Rodney Dangerfield live once, and I was going to go with a crowd of people that we all decided we were going to go, a group of friends. Then the others decided they don't want to go, so I didn't go. But I remember we almost came. Hello, Chuck. What's going on, Chuck? What do you hate about snow? It is a hard one. What do you love about snow? What I love about snow is right there. Picture, beautiful picture. I'd even like snow if it was in the trees more, Snow is beautiful, to look at. When I was a kid, of course, I liked playing in the snow. I liked sledding in the snow, doing sledding back then. But what I don't like it as an adult, especially, is, it gets in the way. You got to shovel it. You try to dig your car out. You got to try to drive in it. You got to walk in it. You could slip on it and get hurt. It's an obstacle. What I don't like about it is that it's an obstacle. I've never been a fan of Sam Kinison, I'll be honest with you. But I did feel sorry when he died, in a road accident. I like some poems if they're really worded nicely. That's nice words. I mean, that's poetic. I especially like snow when it's stuck on tree branches, highlighting the scenery. That's it. Yeah, Rodney Dangerfield played a different kind of role in Natural Born Killers. I saw that in the theater, and I was shocked by it. I think he plays an abusive father, right? An abusive dad. That's pretty. He looks he looks the part, right? He could play that part. I'm looking at moving to Savannah, Georgia, Joe. Good luck with that. Good luck. Rodney Dangerfield was from Richmond Hill, Queens. Yeah, they have a mural of him on the side of a wall in Richmond Hill. I used to go to Richmond Hill all the time. When I grew up, I was near there. I kind of hung out sometimes in Richmond Hill. Yep. Okay. Noticing in your recent video, the guy that always swears store, there were records on the floor. They're not worth bothering with. No, he's not really known for his records. He doesn't have particularly great records there. If he got something in that was worth buying and I wanted, I would. Yeah, Rodney was good in Natural Born Killers, a really sleazy father role. Yeah. Have you considered doing a video or two on the comic books already are in your collection from before? No, I don't think so. Again, as I said, collecting comics is a rabbit hole I don't want to go down financially, but I'm not going to go down that much. I'll never be buying expensive comics. I'm not going to shell out $100 for a comic book. I'm not going to do that. But the ones I got were $4 or $5 each. I'll do $4 or $5. If there's a book comic that I really want and it's $20, maybe. But at this stage of the game, I go with the flow, babe. That's what I do. I go with the flow. Whatever feels right at the moment, I try to kind of do it. If I'm into collecting vinyl again, I'm going to collect vinyl. If I don't want to collect vinyl, I'm going to purge it. I'll purge it. Whatever. That's what I do. B-sides, what's going on? Rodney's best movie is Easy Money with Joe Pesci. I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think Easy Money is his best movie. I don't love Back to School. A lot of people love Back to School. How about the movie Ladybugs? He plays a coach or something, like a volleyball team, and he opens up the back of the van, and he's got all these volleyballs in there, and he goes, "All I know is I got a lot of balls." That's what he says. I see Chris likes Back to School. All right, folks. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And, hit the thumbs up. Please, hit the thumbs up. Helps the algorithm, When you hit the thumbs up, that helps. So they say. Hey, Ivan, what's going on? Hello, Michael. Hope you're feeling better. I am. Thank you. You probably addressed it already, but I'm coming. Yeah. The background has been addressed. I'm glad you liked it too. And thank you for your support. I like Back to School, but not as much as Easy Money. Joe Pesci was so good as a sidekick to Rodney. Yeah. Joe Pesci's in Easy Money. Yeah. He's good. Matthew Smith, hello. I was thinking of you this morning. I was listening to Ken Michaels' Every Little Thing Beatles show, and he was talking to, I think, Luca Brasi, who, did I get his name right? Luca, I should never say the guy's name right. The guy who wrote a book on Paul. And he played My Love. They played My Love on the radio, and he was talking. I didn't really realize. I think Paul said My Love was written when he was still a Beatle, or at least the genesis of it was. Yes, I do remember those comic books, Creepy, Eerie, and Vampirella. Sure. I remember having a Vampirella comic once, and my mother couldn't believe it. Vampirella was almost nude, not quite. The Rodney Dangerfield mural is right by Austin Ale House, right by Austin Street. I don't recall where that is, but I used to hang out at Richmond Hill, man. There was a guy in there that had like in 1975. Okay, he had a nostalgia store in 1975 under the trains, under the L. Yeah, I know. Everybody says this. The name is very much like that. The name of the author I mentioned is very much like that. Congratulations to this Mr. Cinemeo channel. No name change for 6 months. That's a record. I've been sticking with Mr. Cinemeo. Again, I'm never going to. I'm not saying that I'm never going to change the title. Yeah, I know. I don't know how to say the name right. I know the Godfather name. Yes. You're right, folks. You're right. Cheers, everybody. Let's have another sip of water. Wow. How sweet it is. Yeah, I've never been a fan of Red Rose Speedway either. I love My Love on it. I love Big Barn Bed. Big Barn Bed and My Love are my favorite too. I kind of like the song Loop, First Indian on the Moon. To me, the rest of it is just fluffy. I mean, it's My Love is fluff too, but it's a hit. But I like One More Kiss. Okay, I like Single Pigeon. Okay, but it's not. It's Paul's weak sauce. Weak sauce. I think Mr. Cinemeo is a good channel name. Thanks very much. Best 80s movie? Oh, I can't give you that answer. I can't give you that answer. There's so many best 80s movies. I can't give you one. Is it hard to figure out the live stream, getting it up and running? Not at all. No, I don't think. Well, if you're thinking of doing one ever, what I would do is um, look on like YouTube for like a tutorial video how to do it. Okay. What does it say about save with the wings? Yeah, but what was that about? Stay. You were never a big fan of speed. I like speed of sound much better than regular speedway. I mean, silly love songs, classic, great. Let 'em in, classic, great. Beware my love, classic, great. I love that song. I like Wino Junko on that. I like Time to Hide. I like She's My Baby. Yeah, I like that album. It's not one of the best albums, hell no, but I do like it. Have you ever bought something for someone and even though it was expensive and you normally would not spend that amount of money on them, you knew that they would love it? Yeah, can't remember what, but yeah. Any good or interesting movies coming up? I haven't heard of any. My love, bah. I don't like Little Lamb. Little Lamb Dragonfly is the most overrated of all Paul's songs in my book. Get on the Right Thing is okay, but it's not great. When the night is okay, they're not, to me they're not his best stuff at all. Cheers. Speed of Sound is just okay. Not one of Paul's better solo records. Let him in a great tune. Another simple Paul lyric, but a great one. Turned into a great song. Yeah. I mean, I can't, I don't have the time to think of all the 80s movies. Tootsie, I think Tootsie is a great 80s movie. I mean, there's tons. I'm trying to think not just horror related, other ones. I like Rain Man from 88. There's lots of movies I'm forgetting, lots of movies. Yeah. An Officer and a Gentleman, 82. The Cinemayo name is good. It's not Cinemayo, folks. It's Mr. Cinemayo. But it's okay. Mr. Sir, short and sweet. Your last name is address. People know it refers to movies. Exactly. Give more thumbs up, please. Yeah, sure. I wouldn't mind that. Thumbs up are good. I love the new Ringo album. I keep listening to it over and over again. Absolutely. Hey, you know what? I ran into one of my nephews, my nephew, in the record store yesterday, and he said, "You're not going to believe what my favorite album is." Now, here's a guy that likes everything. I mean, he just likes. He's got a very eclectic taste. My nephew, he loves a lot of things. And he said, "Guess what album's my favorite album?" Now I can't stop playing. I said, "What?" He said, "Ringo, Stop and Smell the Roses." Can you believe it? It was a record. I had an extra record. I gave it to him when he was a lot younger. I guess he pulled it out and played it. He says he played it a few times, which is interesting. Ordinary People. I never saw it. I know I've heard about it. Yep. I like 80s movies. Arthur. Yeah, I saw Arthur in the movie theater. It's funny. I saw Arthur in the movie theater. Very good when it came out in 1981. But I saw it on cable not too long ago. I thought it's not as strong now as it was then. But, you know, John Cusack, great actor from the 80s. I met John Cusack and got a picture with him. That guy is tall. That guy's like 6 foot, over 6 feet. I don't know the best one. Officer and Gentleman. Saw it not long ago. Still holds up. Yeah. Ringo got T-Bone Burnett to produce his new album. Yes. And he has so many great musicians on it. Exactly. The musicians and the production, fantastic. Hello, Tony. What's going on, Tony? Do you recommend any biography books about Lugosi or Karloff? Yes, all of them. They're all good. I can't remember the names of them. I can see the covers. I have them and I've read them, but I can't remember the names of them. Vampire Over London is one of them. Vampire Over London, but that's a book that's just about when he went to England in 1952. But it's a good book, but not the all time best. But there's another one, The Man Behind the Cape. Lugosi, The Man Behind the Cape. The World According to Garp. I saw that in the movies and loved it in 1982. I remember going on a double date. Went on a double date, and four of us, and we really loved it. That was the first time I saw Robin Williams in anything that I liked him in. I didn't like Robin Williams on Mork and Mindy. Didn't like Robin Williams as a stand-up comedian, but I liked him the first time in that movie, The World According to Garp. Do you think longevity is the proof of a good artist? The Beatles, Dylan, etc. We're still talking about it, etc. Taylor Swift in 50 years' time, that proves her worth. Yeah, I think longevity has a lot to do with it. Absolutely. Good music, good artists will never die. Anybody can be, top of their game in their time, in their moment. I like Red Rose Speedway more than I used to, thanks to the box set from several years back. But still fairly weak overall. His least '70s album after Speed of Sound. What about Wildlife? I like Wildlife, but a lot of people say that's his weakest album. Hello, Richard James. Good morning. What's going on? I was not a fan of Welcome Back, Kotter. I thought it sucked. You know what I mean? I don't know why. I thought Gabe Kaplan wasn't much of an actor. I never thought he was a very, very good actor, for one thing. And John Travolta was good. Ron Palillo was humorous, but never was a big fan of that show. I like the theme song, "Welcome Back" by John Sebastian. I love that song. Welcome back. Oh yeah, welcome back. And I saw Sebastian perform it in 1988. Went to a reunion show. I think it was called Good Lovin', the Good Lovin' Tour. The Rascals. The Rascals were there. Tommy James was there. John Sebastian was there. I haven't seen WKRP in a while. I don't know it enough to say if I like it. I do like Johnny Fever. What's his name? Howard Hessman, right? Yeah. Better gambler and pro now than an actor. Uh, yeah. I watch your movie chats, even though I'm not a big movie person. It allows me to learn about the genre without prejudice or preconceived notions about the art form. Thank you so much. That's nice of you to say. Anybody watching this now, by the way, please subscribe to my movie channel below, Mr. Cinemayo. I'll leave it on for a while. I'm trying to get up to 2,000 subs there. That would be nice. I've got 1,900 and something, but I think it's 1,905. So I need like 95 people over time. Maybe Ringo will be nominated for a Grammy Award for that album. He should. From your lips to the community's ears. Yes, Ringo deserves a Grammy for that album, and I hope he gets it. Wildlife is better than either. Raw, rough, and different than anything he ever did otherwise. I love Wildlife, Matt. I love it because, like you say, it's raw, rough, it's different. I love Wildlife. However, I'd still call it kind of weak overall, if that makes any sense. Let's see. I saw a video of Gabe Kaplan doing a one-man show. Well, he was a comedian, right? He was a stand-up comedian, or was he? I think he was. What has to be in a movie to make it horror for you? No, not gore. No. Gore is not a horror film, but I know some people think that. No jump scares. It's just the theme. It has to have an element of fear or an element of something haunted or a monster, maybe. It doesn't have to have a monster to be a horror movie. But Yeah, Welcome Back, Cotter was corny as hell. Also, the students looked like they were held back at least 5 years. Looked too old for their roles. Yeah. Sunday's going great, Rob. What are your favorite underrated solo Paul records? Great question. Wildlife is a favorite of mine that's underrated. Back to the Egg is a favorite that's underrated. And Off the Ground is an album I like that's underrated. Those are the first three that come into mind. Yeah, I remember this. They could not get the rights for the DVDs of WKRP in Cincinnati, so they had to change the music. Yes. Are you a fan of any of the Law and Order franchises? No, I don't. I'm not familiar with them. I'm not familiar with them. Yes, I believe Gabe Kaplan was a stand-up comedian. He was on the Carson show once or twice. He just was very bland, very, very one. He just wasn't interesting at all, and he couldn't act. Thought he was lousy at acting. Has any film or character kept you awake at night? No. I mean, I always thought horror films were cool, neat, exciting, but I never really was afraid by them. Really. I've seen the new Nosferatu. I thought it was a great atmospheric film. It looked great. It was well shot. Had a lot of good mood photography, but it was kind of boring, too long, and too much of an exorcism film. It was more like watching a demonic possession movie than a vampire movie. Yeah, in Greece, you had 40-year-old high school students. Ram is still my favorite Paul album. I think mine too. Band on the Run, Venus and Mars, Flowers in the Dirt, Flaming Pie, Chaos and Creation, Memory Almost Full, and New. Okay. Paul's first album was panned at the time, but now more recognized as a good album. Yeah, very true. Do you think Gremlins is a horror movie? I think they classify it as a horror movie. I know what it's about. Still never saw Gremlins though. I can't tell you. Shout Factory. Shout Factory is great. I want to give a shout out to Shout Factory. Hey, Shout Factory. Sorry about the bouncing table here. I got a bouncing table. They restored most of the original music in WKRP. I didn't know that. That's good. Wonder if Shout Factory could restore the missing some of the missing music stuff for the Odd Couple and do the Odd Couple over again. Robbie Detroit's vinyl likes Welcome Back, Cotter. Good. Glad you like it. Not for me. I hear people outside. Let's see if they come in here. Try to get in here. Hello, Uncle Paul. What do you think of the House on Haunted Hill? I grew up with House on Haunted Hill. It was scary, creepy. It had the old lady that kind of glides through across the screen. Yeah, House on Haunted Hill is a favorite. Yeah, William Castle. I like. I don't love William Castle. Some films I like of his better than others. If you could go to Westworld, what world would you visit? And would you be afraid to just shoot a gun or kill someone, even if it could be a robot? Well, as a guy, I probably would like to go to Westworld and play cowboy and all that stuff. But there's a little bit of romance these days. I mean, I might go into a Roman world to be with some of those Roman beauty women. Get some Roman ladies. So robots, I should say. I've been listening to Paul's Egypt Station album, a lot of good stuff on there too. Yeah, Egypt Station is not one of my favorites. There were about 5 songs on there I like quite a bit, maybe 5. Uh, Good morning, Alan. What's going on? Did you see? Yes, I heard about this. Zach Starkey has a blood clot. Hopefully, they clear that up, take care of it. Yes, Uncle Paul Chiller Theater. That's right. Yeah, I remember that. Grew up with that stuff. Absolutely. Chiller with the hand. Great stuff. Yeah, Gremlins has Phoebe Cates. She's one of your favorites and one of my favorites. Few women are as beautiful, gorgeous, as beautiful faces and eyes as Phoebe Cates. I like Barney Miller. They had characters that kept me interested, even if some of the stories were kind of repetitive. Never got into Barney Miller, but I do appreciate some of the characters, though. I know the characters. Never really cared for this to show Different Strokes much. No, I agree, Tim. I think Paul's album "New" is a lot better, tons better, eons better than Egypt Station. Now I'm caught up for a moment. I'm gonna take another swig of water. Okay, I'm caught up. For 51 minutes, it was pretty nonstop. Boom, boom, boom. Now I got a little chance to breathe. But welcome to people that are here and new people too. The hash episode of Barney Miller. I remember hearing something about that episode, but I don't know it. I do like Taxi. Yeah, I do like Taxi. I like it. Always like SCTV. Yeah, yeah. Second City Television. Uh, Monster Chiller Horror Theater with Count Floyd. Right, I remember that. Haven't had much of a melt by you. Yeah, maybe not. I have a built-in disdain for Egypt Station. I can't really explain why. I just don't care for it that much. Something bugs me. I mean, that album is just something about it. It's a little, I don't know. It's a grim kind of thing. I don't know what it is about it. I'm okay. I'm okay. There's a little snow. No, we don't have a lot of snow, just a little bit. Um, Probably the background's getting a little too. It's getting like too sunny or something. Um, Out of Good Times, The Jeffersons, Sanford and Son, what's the best out of those? I personally like Sanford and Son the best out of those three. Yeah, yeah, I'm not much. I'm not much for Egypt Station. Not much at all. The song "Dominoes" off Egypt Station. I agree. That's one of the best songs on there. Yeah, my favorite song off Egypt Station is still "Come On to Me." I do like. I don't know. I do like. Oh wow, Happy with You. Back in the day, Channel 7 had the 4:30 movie. I remember it well. I remember it very well. There was also one on Channel 4. What was that one called? I don't know. Remember that, but it was called. Do you think Peter Jackson will ever release more of the Get Back extra footage? He would like to. He has said he'd like that there's more story to tell, there's more footage to use. But Disney is not thrilled with the idea, as far as I understand it. Come On to Me is uplifting and fun. It's great. I agree with you. I agree with you, Lila. Excuse me, Lamont and Rollo are sitting by the TV. Fred Sanford enters. Look who we got here. The rummy and the dummy. There you go. McCartney 3, my favorite of his tug of war. Though new, Electric Arguments, memory almost full of good too. I like McCartney 3. I do. That's Electric Arguments. It's funny. I like Electric Arguments, some of the songs on it, but I never really. That's another one of those albums that fell through the cracks. You know, I like a couple of songs on there, but I need to hear it again. And I do like Memory Almost Full. Yeah. Hello, Russ. Good morning. Top of the morning to you. and the rest of the day for myself. I usually don't drink the whole water, but this time, yeah. I've been praying. Praying. Sorry about that. I've been playing Press to Play a lot lately. You know what I think of that album, right?
Now this album, I just can't take it.
I use that clip anytime I get a chance to use it. For the record, Press to Play is one of my least favorite of all Paul McCartney albums. However, I don't hate it like I did back then. That's an old video. That's from 2013. It's 12 years old, that video. So I think it was wrong to release Get Back through Disney. They seem to not understand the power of the Beatles. There isn't any market for extra footage, quote unquote. I agree with you there 100%. Tom says, that's your best clip. I know Tom loves that clip. That's one of the clips that I think got him started. I get Tom, I got to tell you, Tom, that's one of my best clips. But here's another one. That's one of my best clips. There you go. All right, let's go. Hello, Piccolina the cat. What's going on? I'm glad you're feeling better. Thank you. Wildlife Ram, Band on the Run, Venus and Mars, the albums I enjoy. Yeah. Do you think Good Night Tonight should have been included on Back to the A? Absolutely, yes. Yes. Not only is it a good song, I mean, you could say that Good Night Tonight doesn't really fit the feel of the album Back to the Egg. However, I've always said the last song on the album, Baby's Request, is sounds like an old 1920s number. That doesn't feel like the rest of the album either, but yet it's a good song. So I think it was foolish not to have. Wasn't Paul the one? Was it Paul didn't want it on? Paul didn't want Good Night Tonight on the album. It would have boosted sales. I think it was idiotic. Imagine if it said it contains the hit Good Night Tonight. No, it should have been on the album. Yeah, Uncle Paul, that's the first time you saw me tear up the album. It's a joke. Can you benefit when the Super Bowl is on? So can you go anywhere because it's quiet? I don't even think about it, Lila. I don't even think about it. Yeah, Pipes of Peace is one of Paul's least albums, I think, for sure. But even there, I do like a bunch of songs off it. Been playing Venus and Mars a lot lately. I like it better than Band on the Run. Venus and Mars is one of my very favorite Paul albums. It's right there. I think they were kind of equal. I think I like Venus and Mars equally to Band on the Run. I think. I think the thing for me is Band on the Run is a little more played out, a little more overplayed, that album. And that's why I think Venus and Mars kind of like holds up a bit. Have you ever heard Mary Hopkins' Postcard on Apple? No. Corn gas. A lot of people said this in my videos about my friend Anthony. Says the corn gas routine never gets old. Do you think Ringo will be back in the studio soon? Well, the way I understand it, I think Ringo has another EP. I think there's another EP coming. I really think that after the success of the new album, country-ish album, Look Up, I'll bet you Ringo's going to dabble in more country. I mean, he should. Honesta says, I've got wonderful news. And Fred Sanford says, don't tell me you won the King Kong lookalike contest. There's Talk More Talk in indefinite hiatus. It's in a hiatus. What happened too was after Christmas, a bunch of us were busy, and then it turned out that Ken Michaels had to go to Nashville to see Ringo, and he just got back from Nashville. So Talk More Talk is on a hiatus for now. We don't know exactly when it's going to come back or how. I like the "oh boy, you've had a busy day" clip. Well, I'll try to use that when I can. I wonder if Tom Hunyadi wants to come up. Usually when I do you want to Tom Hunyadi, you want to come up? Let me know. I know you probably just rolled out of bed or are still in the bed with the covers over your head. If you want to come up, I got to send you a private link, not here. You let me know. It's good that you came back with a decent haul of comic books from the guy that curses. It was nice of him to give you an extra one for free. Yeah, I don't know if you caught that in my video, but he said, "Yeah, I bought 17 comics." So the guy said, take another comic for free." So I said, "Oh, thanks." So I did. About 5 minutes later, Anthony goes, "Hey, Anthony's got 2 comic books." He goes, "Could you take this one as one of your free comics?" I wanted to save $5. Anthony. Good time, good night tonight, and daytime, nighttime suffering. Both should have been on Back to the A. I like the idea of daytime, nighttime suffering as a B-side, actually. I do. Hi, John Alelo. What's up? Mr. Mayo, the news that leaked out from Danny Harrison recently about real love and free as a bird. What do you think this means? For those who don't know, Danny Harrison leaked out or said that Free as a Bird and Real Love are probably going to be remixed with John's voice again, and to make it really clear like now and then. I think that's fantastic. And I've heard rumors that they're going to be putting a new anthology series out, or this is the 30th anniversary this year of anthology. So I think they're going to do something where they use Free as a Bird and Real Love. Mull of Kintyre is not on an album, really. It was a single. It's on the album Wings Greatest. If you want to get Wings Greatest, it's on there, so. Tom Hunyadi is at work. He's at work. I forget about that. Some of you people that have to work. I'm sorry to hear that. I forgot about that. Okay. By the way, if you're at work, Tom, that's a hell of a job. I love these people that are at work and yet they're playing on a computer. Come on, man. When I worked at the U.S. Postal Service, you couldn't deliver mail. You could be playing on a computer. Although I would go back to my little truck, and every time I went back to the truck, I'd sit there for 5 or 10 minutes, then go back. Yeah, I did it. Anyway. All right, let's go back here. Sorry, folks. Oh, wow. I got to go back. You like to tear things when you get fueled up. That album along with the Hulk comic book. Well, I do that because you want to have content, It's fun to do it on camera, that's all. He learned with the Live Coming Up single when it was included. Got to admire, Joe. I purposely asked you. You purposely asked me the question about press to play. Very good. I admit that okay. All right. Fair enough. I was chatting to a work friend's little girl. She was telling me all about the music she loves. So I showed her some Beatles and Elvis. I could tell she was so bored by it. Please, Lord, have mercy. Help this poor child to grow up and get some taste. Thank you very much. Imagine Venus and Mars if Lennon sang with McCartney on a track or two. Yeah, I don't mind that they didn't, but it would have been nice, wouldn't it? Sure. Paul's first album was good with songs like Junk and Maybe I'm Amazed. However, the live version of Maybe I'm Amazed on Wings Over America is way better than the studio version. This is so rare. I disagree with you completely. Now, I like the live version of Maybe I'm Amazed. I think the live version of Maybe I'm Amazed is great. But I also think the studio version of Maybe I'm Amazed is great. I think the studio version is much better, though. You know what I mean? It's still better than the live version for me. I'll give you one example where I think the live version is better than the studio version in history of something. Peter Frampton's Show Me the Way. Show Me the Way is much better on the live album than it is on the studio. I'll go with that. I'll go along with that one. That guy at the collectible shop with the scruffy voice seems cool. Oh, you mean Cussy? Yeah, Cussy at the start. We call him Cussy. No, seriously, he's a great guy. He's a very nice guy, and he's very cool, and he's got great prices. Great prices, very good. Okay, another example of a poem here. Yeah, of course I like some. Anything with good words, like songs with good lyrics, poems with good words. Sure. I wonder if there will eventually be an album of all of Ringo's EPs. Anybody could make their own. I don't know if there's going to be an official one. I heard rumors a long time ago, just rumors, that might happen. Well, he was invited. This is big news. Ringo was invited. He is going to play at the Grand Ole Opry. I think it's February 21st. I'm not sure about the day exactly. But Ringo is playing at the Grand Ole Opry, and he's playing there in February. He was invited. Not sure about this. I don't know when he said this. I just heard that he did. The Anthony videos get a good amount of views. They do. The Anthony videos are very popular, and it's a lot of fun, and I love doing them. I don't get how you can make Anthology any more complete. The original sets are perfect. Well, there was actually longer versions. There's more footage. You can always put more performance footage, more concert footage, more interview footage. But I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I just heard that they're going to do something for the 30th anniversary of Anthology. Thank you, James. Thank you for being here and saying hello. Tom is cooking in the kitchen of love. Speaking of Ringo, will he play and sing his new songs live or just sing? I don't know the details of that yet. Okay. I do not have a copy of Return of Pepperland. Some fan I am, huh? I don't have a copy. Yeah, it's strange why the Hulk doesn't lose his trousers. Yeah, these are the things you just got to accept, right? I don't know. Nice shirt. Well, you can't even see it. So there you go. But it's got the Beatles on it. See? Have you given Paul's Driving Rain another chance to move it up? It's not moved. I still consider Driving Rain to be the least of Paul's entire, what I would call solo studio originals output. And if his original studio solo output albums, that's still the last one. However, I like it better than I used to. And that was when I did a show with Talk More Talk not too long ago. We gave it another listen. And I do think it held up better. The live version of I don't agree. I'm going to say before I read this, personally, for me, I don't agree. I've never felt that anything is better with Wings live. People say that all the time. Like, for example, Matthew says the live version of Venus and Mars and Rock Show and Jet on Over America are better than the studio counterparts. No flipping way, in my opinion. Especially, you might have an argument with Venus and Mars and Rock Show. There's no way that Jet is better live than a studio recording. I grew up with Jet on the radio, on the studio recording. No way. Oh, I forgot this one too. Oh yeah, I Want You to Want Me is another one. I agree with you. Yeah. I wish he would put all those EPs on a CD, easier than flipping records every 6 minutes. That's why the Americans got so much smarter and right, more correct. When the Americans put hit singles and EP tracks, or whatever you want to call them, B-side on albums. Capital, okay? I don't think Wings Over America live album, whatever. I don't think Wings Over America live album, whatever came out, but it was pushed out because of the three. Oh, okay. All right. I see what you're saying. They put Wings Over America out because of the 3 album live at the LA Forum bootlegs. Now, Tom tells us that Andy and I are going to see Ringo at the Grand Ole Opry with Joan and the MVP Heidi. Heidi, Joan, Andy, and Tom are going to see. As a matter of fact, I'll be honest with you. Andy asked me, why don't you come along? I was kind of invited. I'd love to do it, but, I just don't want to do the whole taking a plane thing. I don't want to. I don't like flying. Not because of fear. I'm not afraid of flying. I just don't like. I don't want to catch diseases. I don't want to. Taxiing, waiting, getting on the whole thing, boarding. I don't like. I don't like the whole process of flying. No doubt that Ringo will film the Grand Ole Opry show and do a deal with a streaming channel. Songs better live than studio include Things We Said Today. Disagree. 1964 tour, they rocked it harder than the medium. I know the version you mean. I know the version you mean. Yes, but I still like the studio Things We Said Today better. Some are still wondering when the Rubber Soul box will come out. There's no word on it. I'm guessing late this year. I'm guessing November, December. That's my prediction. One live song I really like is Led Zeppelin's Celebration Day from their 3rd album. Sounds great on the song remains the same. I don't know about that. Press to Play being your least favorite still, right? No, Driving Rain is my least favorite. And I would say that Press to Play is my next to last. Maybe. I got to think about that, but I think, I'm pretty sure, I guess. Good morning, Retro. I'd love to hear the complete version of Hallelujah. I Love Her So. Can't say that word. K-A-N and 12-bar original. A lot of those recordings were cut too short. Which Beatle do you think would be first to throw a punch in a heated argument? I'm really thinking about this. What's funny? It could be any of them. Any of them. I got it because I've seen examples. Sometimes I think Paul, believe it or not, Paul could be the first to throw a punch. I've seen him get angry. Not at me, luckily. Somebody else said it I was with. But I'm not going to go into the story again. But there's that. And then there's, George also. George could be good. And, of course, John. John would have been the first to throw a punch, when they were in Liverpool, I think. But later on, I don't know. They talk about how violent John was. John got into fights and things. I don't see John Lennon as a real, a real tough guy. Even though I know he thought he was, and he acted like that as a teddy boy as a teenager and stuff. Ringo was filmed for 2 hours. CBS. Yes. I do feel Ringo should have stayed while the classics performed. Yeah. There's going to be the CBS special in the spring. I think it's the spring. Ringo live at the Ryman with friends. A lot of people I have never been, nor do I think I ever be, a guy who likes live shows much. I do not like live shows better than studio. I just don't. I think studio almost always, 99.9% of the time, blows away live. But there are exceptions. What's going on, Clown Fist? You know who Clown Fist is, huh? I'm not going to say it. Everybody knows. Favorite thing to do is write. I wrote a lot when I was younger, not poems, but stories, things like that. I don't think I like Smoke on the Water studio. I don't really know the live. No one's scared of flying, Joe. It's the crashing they're scared of. Yeah. That's semantics, I guess. This is the time for Ringo to mix the set up. Exactly. At least hold on, aka have you seen my baby? Right? My Ringo LP has it as hold on. I think that there are two versions. I mean, the Ringo album, I think the first copies had hold on it. And later on, they changed it to Have You Seen My Baby? So I think if your Ringo LP says "Hold On" as the track list on the back cover, I think that's more of an earlier press. I think. John would be the first. Um, would you ever go see Joan Jett live again? Yeah, I wouldn't say I wouldn't see her. I still think she was her best. I saw her in the '80s. I saw her in the '80s when she was at her best, many times. The last time I saw Joan Jett was 2015, 10 years ago. That's 10 years ago already. Wow. 10 years ago in 2015, I saw her live. She still got it. She still got it, but not as much as she had. There's a difference being your 20s, obviously, or 30s, being, 20s or 30 and, being in your 60s. Good morning, Gregory. Physical Graffiti album is 50 this year. Ringo's Look Up album is in his top 5 of his albums, and Ringo must be excited about how everybody enjoyed Look Up at being number one. Number one on the country charts in England. Yes. 2 charts. Ringo's Look Up album is number 1 in England on the country charts, and it's number 1 in England on the Americana charts. Now, you get a few people there that say, big deal, it's not the main chart. The bottom line is he beat all the competition. Everybody else that's on the charts under him has the same boundaries as he has the same limitations he has, the same modern charts, whatever. So he did better. Period. you know. Yeah. Paul threw a bucket of water at the Life magazine guy who came to his farm to ask if he was dead. If there is any anthology anniversary edition, I'd love to see Paul and Ringo add new interviews talking about the anniversary. Always wanted to see them have a reunion with Pete Best too. I don't think that last part's going to happen, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. That Cheap Trick live album definitely better than the studio version, which a lot of the songs sounded finished. Okay. Hello, Tom. Good morning. Tom says, I agree. Studio most of the time sounds better than a live version. I mean, it's all opinion. We're just giving our opinions. Some people like some of the live better. Joan Jett is coming to Fort Worth with Billy Idol. Might go. Go. Please go. Please go. Any chance of you reviewing movies like That'll Be the Day with Ringo and the sequel Stardust? There's so many things that I keep saying I'm going to do one day. I'm going to review this. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to make a video about this. And I have to get on with it, I make a list. I saw That'll Be the Day a long time ago, and I liked it. Probably Ringo's best acting in anything. But I haven't seen it in a long time. So I'm due for a review at some point. I saw that promo for Billy Idol and Joan Jett's tour. There were so few musicians from the 80s that still sound good. Robert Smith, for example, still sounds like he did in the 80s. I don't know how. Another example of live versus studio. Genesis, The Knife, is as good or better live on the Genesis Live album. Not familiar with that one. Cheers. Marcus, good morning to you, sir. Okay, folks. Thank you. I mean, I'm going to be here a little bit more. I'm getting at least 10 minutes. I'm going to be here at least 10 minutes more. We'll do 90 minutes at the very least, if not more. I am not a good cook. What's your best dish? I mean, I wish I could give more fun answers to some of these questions. I don't like cooking. I don't like the cooking. I don't like the cleaning. However, I mean, I don't I can't do much. I mean, I make eggs for myself. I make eggs for myself. I can make pasta. I make, what do you do? Boil water, put the pasta in the water, put the tomato sauce in the water, on the boil some tomato sauce, heat it up. But yeah, I prefer live performances of some songs. Soily. Well, there's no studio version. There is no studio version of Soily that I know. So you have nothing to compare it to. Do you think the Lennon estate will do something eventually with the lost Lennon tapes? Too much good material to not allow for a remix or reissue. Well, they've done some things already with them. They had that box set, the Lennon Anthology or whatever it was, right? And they put out that thing, John Lennon Acoustic. They've already done things with it. Put bonus tracks on certain CDs and things. But I wouldn't mind them doing like some kind of really good dedicated set at some point. Take the demos, clean them up. Get Peter Jackson, clean them up. Melody loves to cook. That's a fact, man. Mr. Mayo, your open window background of countryside looks great for your catch up with Mayo. I agree. It looked better at the beginning. I don't know, but at the beginning it was more pronounced, getting like it's turning to like it's just getting whited out. It's not as detailed as it was when I first came on. But there are some people that hate on those who don't do all the cooking themselves and never eat at restaurants as if that's cheating or something. Don't get it at all. Much prefer this doing the work. I agree. Pasta with meat sauce, meatball, seafood. What's your favorite? Spaghetti bolognese. I like bolognese sauce, sure. I haven't. The problem is I'm trying not to do many carbs right now. I haven't had pasta in a long time. Eventually, I'm going to have it once a week, every week. Every week, I'm going to have it once a week. But meat sauce, meatballs. I don't like pasta with seafood too much. I mean, I've had pasta with seafood, but I prefer not seafood with it. Do you think that people, let's say, they don't like the Beatles, say it just for the hell of it, going against the grain? Most certainly, there are some people, not all people. There are some people who say, I don't like the Beatles because I'm going to be different. I'm going to go against the grain. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be a rebel. You know what I mean? All you are is do not. That's all you are. Oh no, I've heard. I mean, some Genesis that I know I like. I like Genesis. I like Genesis. What's my top favorite bands? The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, the Monkees, stuff like that. The Kinks. Yeah, that's a bunch of ones that just come off the top of my head. Steve Miller Band. Led Zeppelin. I like Led Zeppelin. Friend of Dorothy and Whatever Happened To deserve to be heard by a lot more people. I agree. Those are very good. She's a friend of Dorothy and Whatever Happened To. It would be nice. It would, that's a project that if Sean Lennon's listening, hey Sean, if he's listening, I know, I'm not saying he is, but if you are, I would say she's a friend of Dorothy and Whatever Happened To. are two songs that could be definitely somehow with Peter Jackson and a little extra playing. Maybe Sean can play on it, or somebody else can play on, a musician play on it, and try to flesh it out a bit. Those are two potential new songs from John. If you could go back in time to 65 and you were told that you could meet one individual Beatle for 1 hour, which one would you meet with? John Lennon. John's my favorite Beatle. That's a good question. But yeah, definitely John. I've always wanted to I don't know why, always wanted to hang with Ringo. I would love to hang with Ringo, say, hey, what's up? Talk. But Ringo's guarded, how could you not be? That's actually easy. Chef salad. I like chef salad. I like salad with a little egg in there, a little egg, a little bit of meat. I also Caesar salad. Oh, that was a cough. Hold on. It was uncool to like the Beatles in 76, 79 time frame. The girls would laugh at me. They're so old. Don't you like Bay City Roll as well? I didn't. There was some idiots out there. I remember in 1976. 1976. 6 years after the Beatles broke up, there was an idiot I went to school with, and he was like, what'd you get out of it, man? The Beatles are so old. He goes, I used to be a Beatle freak too until I woke up. This is in 76. Wake up or go back to sleep if you're still alive somewhere, okay? Ridiculous. I'm just going to say I'm going to just say it. Ringo's Look Up is one good damn album. Amen. All the way through, a solid listen, good album, one of Ringo's best. It's either his second or third greatest album in my book. There's a full album's worth of material of Lennon's demos right there. You're probably right on that. You're probably right. Ringo seems to know how to have a good time. Yeah, back in before 1988 when he became sober, he knew too much. How to have too good of a time. But yeah. Word salad. That's somebody else who's famous for that. Johnny Walker, a UK radio DJ, got the sack for refusing to play Bay City Rollers in the 70s. Well, thank you, Paul. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate that. Yeah, me and my anchovies. You got it there, Melody. Anchovies, baby. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out and buy stuff for my salad that I like. Anchovy. When I make my salad, I'm going to go buy some anchovies and dump them in the salad. Yeah, you went through what I went through, as far as people in school sometimes being jackasses. But I laughed at them. I laughed at them then, and I laugh at them now. Okay. Yeah, I think you should try. Well, you should try that. Not many people have anchovies anymore, but Tom and Yadi assures us we have anchovies. Imagine Ringo and his brother-in-law Joe Walsh out with wives for dinner. Sure. What's your favorite? What's your favorite? Hold on a minute. Jeez, I lost it. What's your favorite dip? I'm not. I'm not really picky when it comes to dip. What was the most rebellious thing you did growing up? There was a couple of things that I did. Yeah, a couple of rebellious things, but I don't think I'll mention them here. So many kids in the 70s did not like the Beatles. This girl I had a crush on, Nancy, blue-eyed blonde, hated the Beatles. Oh, how I tried. My experience was that most people liked the Beatles in the 70s still. My experience. There's always those idiots, just like there's idiots now who, when I say idiots, it's not like they don't like the Beatles. I'm not saying you're an idiot if you don't like the Beatles. You just have, if you don't like the Beatles, you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot. You have no taste. But I'm talking about the idiots are the ones that, like, think they're better than that. I'm going to try. I'm going to show that I can move beyond the Beatles. I got more taste. They're trying to like prove something. That kind of thing. The most attractive Beatle wife or girlfriend in their prime. I mean, all of them. I'm talking about like. I thought Linda McCartney looked absolutely gorgeous and amazing in those early pictures, like when she first meets Paul, like when she's with Paul, like in, I think 67, when she's with Paul in 69, like on and then Maybe I'm Amazed video, some shots of her in that. Patty, of course, Patty Boyd, gorgeous, Barbara Bach, gorgeous. I thought that in the early days with Maureen, she looked great, And I think there's pictures of Yoko too, where she also looks very nice. early pictures. That's why, this may sound like this is being disingenuous, but I'm not. I'm being honest, 1000%. I find attractiveness in a lot of women. I tend to find things attractive. I like women in general. I just think that they're works of art and the whole thing, the femininity of women and all that. So, yeah. Well, I didn't deliberately skip over Cynthia. I did not deliberately skip over Cynthia, but I just forgot about her because she doesn't make an impression on me. I guess the same way she didn't make much of an impression on John. But the thing is, yeah, she had some attractive shots when she was younger. Absolutely, at her youngest, I thought she was pretty attractive. I saw Melody on Psychos Platters last night. He was the Jolly Green Melody in an interesting outfit. I'm not. Look, here's the thing about this. Some people said that Yoko moved out of the Dakota and she went like to a farm or something. And other people said that report was not true. She's still at the Dakota. So I really don't know what the truth is on that one. I'm going to have to sign off now, folks. I thank you for being here. This was fantastic. I'm trying to make this a once a week thing. All I can ask you is subscribe to my channel, hit the notifications, keep your eyes open. I'll have the ad. Sometimes I go live just by surprise. Hey, I'm here. Surprise, I'm live. But other times, I try to give you a heads up by giving you the thumbnail. So it means a lot to me that everybody's here. Thank you so much. Oh, I also forgot we talked about Beatle wives, Olivia. I thought Olivia George's wife, Olivia, also attractive. Yeah. Hey, look, like I said, I find most women attractive to some point. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Talk soon, very soon. Have a good one.